You may already know that there are many important parts inside a computer, but what exactly do they do? Let's take a look in about the various components that makes a computer work, whether it's a desktop computer or a laptop. Let us first discuss the motherboard. What is motherboard? The motherboard is a wide and flat circuit board, and it's the main component of the computer. Where every component gets connected, its goal is to make the different parts of the computer communicate with each other. It's relatively cheap compared against other components, even though it's arguably the most important one. It can be considered the heart of the computer. CPU. The CPU, also known as the Central Processing Unit or processor, is the brain of the computer, and although it usually has very low data storage, it's really good at using it for things like complex mathematics operation, reading through massive lists, and etc. It's most of the programs are run from, and basically everything that happens in a computer goes through the CPU at some point. Hard drive, it's where all your data is stored, so when the computer says you're running low in space, it means that your hard drive is almost full. Hard drive is good for storing a lot of data, but they are slow at accessing it since most of them were made of spinning disks and share their data through a small wire. For this reason, it isn't always going to be able to give the needed information to the CPU. To avoid this problem, we use the RAM. RAM. The RAM stores data just like the hard drive, but with much less space available. The good thing about the RAM is how fast it can access information, making it useful to quickly communicate to the CPU. The information that would take too long for the hard drive to access every time you see a loading screen in a video game, it's because the CPU is taking the needed data from the hard drive to the RAM, so it can access so much more quickly when you're playing. The RAM is connected through a long thin stick instead of a small wire like the hard drive. One thing to remember is that you can permanently store data on the RAM. It's a short memory system, and every time you turn off your computer, the data on it gets wiped. SSD. The solid-state drive has the same goal as the hard drive, but it's faster and more durable. It's a newer technology, and in some computers, it's used with a hard drive or completely alone. It is also usually more expensive. Graphics card. To create 3D worlds from complex calculation, the computer has to do a massive amount of work, but a really difficult part comes in. When it's time to show those worlds on your screen, this is where the graphic card comes in, which is basically an entire standalone computer, dedicated only to showing the right thing on your screen, deciding which pixels need to light up and in what color. Some CPUs already come with an integrated graphics card, but they are usually powerful than a normal graphics card. Power supply. As the name suggests, this component takes the electricity from an outlet and puts it in the computer, making it possible to use if it has to be powerful enough to other components.
Case. Case is simply a box of plastic where every part goes. The most popular formats are mini tower, mid tower, and full tower. Depending on the size, they have the choose of the case should come after having decided the size of the other components to make sure everything fits.
Cooling system. Some areas of the computer like the CPU and graphics card generate a lot of heat and would fry every other component and themselves. If it were not for a cooling system, a computer can have air cooling, liquid cooling, each with its own pros and cons.
wireless card if your computer supports Wi-Fi, which gives you access to the internet without using internet cables. It has a wireless card.
Storage. Computers can function with only processing memory, input and output or devices. The purpose of storage is hold data permanently. GPU naman is graphics processing unit or GPU is a specialized microprocessor that discharge and accelerate 3D or 2D graphics. PSU naman is power supply unit. PSU is hardware device that converts AC electricity into DC electricity and then distributes it into the rest of the computer.
Input device. Input device ay isang sistema na binibigyan ng command o control system upang gawin niya ang bagay na iyong pinapagawa. At ang output device naman ay isang sistema rin na hindi binibigyan ng command o control signal, ito'y kanyang sinasagawa agad. Punta naman tayo sa halimbawa ng input at output device. Ang under ng input device ay keyboard, mouse, digital camera, scanner, joystick, at microphone. At ang halimbawa naman ng output device ay monitor, printer, mic, headphone, and computer speaker.